Welcome back in another episode of NBA 2K14. In the last episode, you know that because of the Brooklyn Nets defeated Denver Nuggets yesterday, 117 to 109. Wilson Chandler got 22 points, Nate Robinson got 21, Evan Fournier got 20, Darren Williams got 26, Jason Terry got 21 points, and a huge night for the Brooklyn as they take down the Denver Nuggets by 8. So in-game music is ready to go. And now coming up next, we got two of the playoff rematch from last season. That should be interesting. Featuring Marc Gasol and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies take on Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder. That should be interesting. So for this game, the Grizzlies going to use the dark blue and the Thunder going to use the white. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video here at the Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC. Anyways, let's get started. Enjoy. We're sent with Kevin Harlan with the rest of the crew and receive result for the Grizzlies and Thunder. Enjoy the video and let's get started for now.
Hello and welcome. I'm Damon Bruce. Good to have you along for the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Friday night basketball. It's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that'll do it from the studio. Let's get you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports broadcast crew at the arena. I'll see you back here at halftime.
Oklahoma City land of the Thunder in a fine Western Conference battle here at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And guys, checking out Michael Conley. What can we see here, you think?
You know, we've seen a lot of change in terms of what Mike Conley can do each year on the floor. He started out, didn't really have much of a jump shot, really improved in that area. Now he's playing with so much confidence that no matter what the circumstance during the game, he believes he can get the job done.
And one of the biggest ways he's made contributions to his team is by taking the ball away from the opponents. I mean, he's excellent with anticipation and quickness and tenacity, particularly at the point of attack.
And the Grizzlies on a single-game road trip here before heading back home. The upcoming part of their schedule is going to tell us a lot about this team. Guys, they're facing a tough set of games on the road.
Yeah, they've had some problems against these guys this season. Just 1 and 2 overall against them. So I think it'd be a big boost for their confidence if they could win tonight and even up the season series.
Like you said, I mean, to finish the year 2 and 2 against them would mean a lot. I mean, it would almost feel like they came out on top for all intents and purposes.
Tries to keep it alive. And that's out of bounds. Memphis will retain possession. And stolen by Perkins. Sabaloja with it. Now Ibaka. Durant, defended by Allen. Durant kicks to Sabaloja. He feeds it to Westbrook. Drills it from outside. Westbrook's got the first 3 points of the night up on the board for Oklahoma City. Well, it was the Memphis Grizzlies in their last game lost to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, they look totally disjointed. And sometimes you have a night like that. Nothing goes in the basket. It's just pure frustration.
Well, you can call it any number of things, Steve. Disjointed, disorganized, discombobulated, dysfunctional. Any of those would fit.
And that one's good. Sabaloja's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
A lot of what Memphis has done to build this team would have to be considered taking the undervalued approach. You look at guys like Zebo, Marc Gasol, and most recently Jared Bayless. Those were good players that really have found a nice home in Memphis.
Durant for 3, and this sure that one drops.
Well, he's so hard to stop because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
The Grizzlies off to a slow start. 9-point game. Well, Clark is talking about Memphis. They really have taken a group of players that were thought to be non-impact roster spots, and Steve, they've turned things around with them.
kind of comes across in the way the entire team plays. It's a blue-collar group, Kevin. Some cast-offs, guys with a chip on their shoulder, but they've got a toughness and an edge about them. And I think it's really helped this team create its identity.
Grizzlies have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Here's Allen, and it's blocked by Ibaka. Now the Thunder with it. They're on an 11-2 run. And that one's good to range.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against Cleveland.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against a defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach of the Grizzlies. He knows one of the hardest parts on scoring against this defense has to do with their prolific shot blocker, Serge Ibaka. He told me he's one of those guys who can get in your head a little bit because he's so mobile. You often don't see him coming. And Kevin, you add in his great rebounding and ability to hit from mid-range, and he's always an X factor for them. Back to you.
Thanks again, Doris. And the rejection by Perkins. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Miller with the ball. He's picked up by Lamb. Shots good by Miller.
You know, Miller has battled injuries over the last few seasons, but when he's right, he can really help you on the wing, particularly as a rebounder and a spot-up shooter. Can really bury that three-point ball.
Yeah, a great shooter and rebounder, competes defensively. You know, a lot to like about his game. And there's Tayshaun Prince on the assist by Bayless.
That's exactly what you want coming off a steal. Get into transition, find an easy basket.
Yes, sir. The ideal fast break opportunity there.
An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
He hammered that down, Clark. A superb above-the-rim action. And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jumpers.
And Lamb kicks to Fisher. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
They worked hard and created great chances for themselves in this opening quarter.
Well, if they can match that effort at the defensive end, look out.
You know, one thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts, it's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that.
Boy, just battled through that initial impact and somehow willed it in.
Excellent concentration. That's what you like to see.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Perkins. Combs comes in for Nick Collison. And it's Roberson in for Tabo Cephalosha. And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness. He stayed pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks has stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, his usual starting lineup with Cephalosha and Perkins on the floor hasn't been their best in terms of plus-minus, but Brooks very loyal to his starting group.
Koyen, the pass to Miller. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
Boy, has there been any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid-fire offense early.
Lamb dishes to Gomes. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
The defense has done very little to slow them down so far.
Koyen, he's covered by Fisher. Back to Miller. From outside the arc. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep.
Well, as long as the threes keep dropping for him, he'll continue firing away.
And they are dropping for him. What a game he's having from deep.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive. Huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Thunder lead by 6. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this.
Next Tuesday, March 4th, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors go up against Paul George and the Indiana Pacers. Don't miss out.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Oklahoma City.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
They've got Ryan Gomes. Adams is out there with Perry Jones. There's Jeremy Lamb. And it's Fisher in at the point guard position. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. And Davis backs down. And that one is stuffed right through.
You know, he may lack grace, but his length makes up for it. He can still throw it down now.
Well, you don't have to be a fantastic leaper when you're his size.
Well, it's too bad because with a little more athleticism, can you imagine how dangerous he'd be underneath the boards?
The Grizzlies trail by 8.
Put together a great team, fans can get a little wild. When you put together a great team that's exciting to watch too, then they really get wild. And that's what you have to deal with when you go to Oklahoma City. A great team with terrific fans.
Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. Poked away. Melo with the steal. And here we go with Miller running up the court. The dish now to Roten. It's Miller on the wing. The pass to Okoyen. And there's the call on Derek Fisher. That is his first foul of the game. And back to these great fans in Oklahoma City. They hosted the Hornets for one season in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you recall. And Steve really showed what a great crowd they could be for a team.
Kevin, I agree. And I think that season when they hosted the Hornets, I think that showed the league that Oklahoma City was ready to become a franchise. And that's why the move from Seattle to Oklahoma City was allowed by the league, because the city had proven that they would support the club.
Perkins, defended by Bayless. Here's Cephalosha. And the Thunder, another three.
The defense sagged off, and he did not hesitate to rise up and bury that three.
And Bayless gets to Conley. And off a screen on Westbrook. Conley into the lane. Ibaka comes with the double team. Westbrook and wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And here are the Grizzlies now. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Randolph. Good.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Last time these two teams came together was also in this building. They were able to win it for the home fans.
And it seems odd to say, given that they won it pretty easily, but they didn't look especially strong that day.
Yeah, and if you were watching the game without the benefit of the scoreboard, you'd have thought it was a lot closer than it was. That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, it's 3 of the last 5 makes having been behind the three-point line, so got to make some adjustments defensively.
Here's Conley, and another basket for Memphis. The Thunder leading by 6.
Mike Conley, the number 4 pick back in 2007 out of the Ohio State University. He wasn't an instant star in the NBA, but boy, has he continued to improve year in and year out.
Here's Bayless. Hits the target from 18 feet. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played, and it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession. Well, you need good passing from your forwards as much as you do from your guards. These are small forwards leading the way in assists. Kevin Durant third.
And these are some of the best teammates you're ever going to want. Very unselfish guys at a position that sometimes puts more of an emphasis on individual play.
Most of those guys can take matters into their own hands if they need to. But like you pointed out, Steve, that's not their MO. That's not how they want to roll. They want all 5 players on the floor to be involved in the offense, and that's what they want to facilitate.
And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. And Conley has played his entire career with the Memphis Grizzlies, improving alongside the team.
I feel like he's going to be an all-star before too long. He's the franchise's all-time leader in assists, but I think the stability and the faith that the organization has placed in him has helped him mature and helped him develop into where he is right now, which I think is one of the best point guards in the game. I would agree.
Collison, the pass to Durant. Westbrook dishes to Durant. Cephalosha kicks to Ibaka. Working on Randolph. Ibaka against Randolph. Shots good by Ibaka. And the Thunder lead by 9.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket.
Bayless the pass to Gasol. 52 seconds left in the first half. The stupendous finish in traffic.
But they're going to take tough outside shots. I mean, they're better off just firing from the three-point line.
Yeah, I agree with it. I mean, if you're going to be back there near the three-point line, you might as well take the 3. Just step back and knock it down.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul.
Yeah, close, but I didn't think he got on balance quickly enough.
And it's hard to draw charges as quick as players are at this level. That's not an easy bit of work there.
.40 seconds left here in the second. Here's Okoye. Count that one. And here's Fisher. 5 points in the game. Lamb. Here's Roberson. And the Thunder, another 3.
That's a weapon they've been allowed to use at will today, Steve.
I'll say the defense has been ineffective trying to run shooters off that three-point line.
Allen kicks to Randolph. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Randolph's got 6 points.
Beautiful finger roll to cap that drive off. He knows how to finish with some flair and flavor, guys.
Here's Fisher. Right now averaging 7 points a game. Here's Roten. And the foul on Tayshaun Prince. That's his first foul.
Prince. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul.
And so we conclude the first half. Oklahoma City out in front, up by 6. We'll have the start of the third quarter for you shortly. But first, it's the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Hi and welcome. Halftime report coming your way with an excellent game going on in Oklahoma City. The Thunder doing well so far. They're certainly playing up to the high standard we've seen through their recent hot streak. It's been a Russell Westbrook clinic in this one against this Grizzlies team. He's up to 9 points, and as usual, he's been handing out a lot of assists. And a resilient Grizzlies team is staying in it. They've gotten a tremendous boost from their reserves, going to them early in the game for production. Mike Miller making the most of his minutes. We all know he can deliver huge performances, and he could be on his way to another. Let's start off with a peek at some games scheduled for later on. Over at Quicken Loans Arena, the Cavaliers will face off against the Jazz. A 7:30 Eastern tip time. And one game also on the docket, the Pelicans will face off against the Suns out in Phoenix. Some Western Conference action in that one. It's an 8:30 Eastern time for a tip-off out there. And another game that's coming up, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Lakers out in Los Angeles. A 7:30 Eastern time is tip-off. That'll wrap things up for me here in the studio. Thanks so much. I'm Damon Bruce. Now let's get back out to Kevin Harlan for the second half of play.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been The back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. It's been one outstanding game from Miller.
He is a dynamic scorer, guys. That much we know. I tell you what, his talent was on full display there in the first half.
Steve, he is a hard man to keep down, and so far, they've been unable to do it.
Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Conley and Allen are the guard set. Prince is the 3 and Randolph the 4. And it's Gasol at the 5. Home in the paint. That one goes. Count it. Prince has got his second bucket of the night. The Thunder leading by 6.
You know, guys, you look at the roster of this Memphis team, and they have a lot to offer. Size and strength inside, playmakers on the perimeter, and improving an outstanding point guard in Mike Conley Jr., but you have to wonder, have they hit their ceiling?
Westbrook against Conley. Allen gets the bucket and the foul. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Good defense, but gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Well, Clark had talked about the Grizzlies don't have a megastar that other teams do to lean on in crunch time. And Steve, you know, they traded the closest thing to that in Rudy Gay last season.
Well, closest thing is right, Kevin. Rudy Gay was not a superstar. He was very, very good, but if he was a true superstar, they would not have moved him. I think they just felt like they couldn't afford Gay's contract. They wanted to move on and play through their big men, Gasol and Randolph. And I think in the end, probably a wise decision because the team performed very well without Gay anyway.
Cephalosha kicks to Durant.
You know what I love about Durant, Kevin, is the fact that he can be cruising along and then all of a sudden he'll just kick it into high gear. You know, he gets his points quietly at times because it comes so effortlessly. But when the game's on the line, he can get hot and just bury you.
Steve, if you were just going to dream up a score, a machine-like, video game-like score, KD, Kevin Durant, is what you would come up with. Long, lean, can shoot it deep, ball skills, and the attitude and aggressiveness of a late-game closer. Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Fisher's checked in. Here's Durant, and there's another one for the Thunder.
Well, you talk about Kevin Durant, you can make a strong case. He's the best scorer in the game today. You know, when you look at the volume of points that he puts up and the efficiency with which he does it. I mean, I think he's still figuring out how to make the players around him better, and he's doing a good job of that. And that's the next step in his game, but he's making good strides in that regard.
Conley kicks to Allen, and that's a foul. It's called on Thabo Cephalosha. That is his first foul of the game. Grizzlies making a switch here. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Gasol hits to Conley, and he uses the glass on the layup. Conley's got 4 points this quarter. And Clark Durant has tried to increase his playmaking the last couple of seasons, but as his assists have increased, Steve, unfortunately, so too have his turnover.
Well, that's going to happen. When you're going to take more chances, you'll make more mistakes. The key is just to have the right ratio. But if Durant is asked to make so many plays in their offense, it's inevitable. Some turnovers there.
And his game probably changed too with Harden's departure to Houston.
Yeah, no question. The ball in his hands a lot more often.
Conley kicks to Allen. Dishes it to Davis. Back to Allen. Feeds to Conley. Out of bounds, Oklahoma City takes possession. And let's take this chance to look at some of the perimeter players who aren't afraid to mix it up in the middle either. These are the top rebounding point guards in the league. Fifth best, Michael Conley.
This is a unique group of players. It's not often we talk about the rebound leaders at the point. But with these guys, it's warranted because of just how well they do it.
You know, it definitely sets them apart from most of the other point guards in the league when you can glass eat like that. They've got a little bit of that big man attitude in them. Battling in the paint when the shot goes up and feeling like they can get some rebounds too.
Man, great ball movement. They're just picking this defense apart with their passing.
Well, how about the 3 Ps, Steve? Purposeful, precise, passing. We love it, and so does this team because they're taking advantage of it.
And that's a foul. It's called on Tavo Cephalosha. That's foul number 2 for him.
I like the call. I thought the defense was moving there.
Yeah, I think he slid underneath. Good blocking call that trip.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Allen's checked in.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
You know, with the recent success of Oklahoma City, you forget that in Kevin Durant's first season, they started out going 3-29, and I tell you what, you talk about their success, it's due to the resilience and perseverance and leadership of Kevin Durant and the rest of those guys.
And Lamb kicks to Cephalosha. Oklahoma City moving it around. Westbrook dishes to Lamb. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 6th assist on the night. Well, there is a culture of hard work, as Clark was talking about, and the perseverance for this Oklahoma City Thunder organization. Their star players, Steve, get a lot of credit, but it's the whole organization, don't you think?
No question. It's the culture that was set. Scott Brooks has continued to kind of establish that atmosphere in the locker room. And they have players who just want to work and want to get better. And we have a large people all with that same approach. We're going to be very successful.
Some changes for Memphis. Perkins comes in for Nick Collison. And Kevin Durant is subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. The Thunder shooting their 3rd free throw shot of the game.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team, guys. When you look at the numbers, impressive.
And guys, those numbers represent a nice step up from what they were last year.
That is good.
You know, if you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
Westbrook kicks to Cephalosha. Durant, covered by Miller, outside Westbrook. Here's Cephalosha.
Really could be a morale-crushing three-pointer, fellas. What a way to head into the 4th quarter.
And as we end the 3rd quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Thunder lead by 17. And when we return, we'll get the 4th quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Coming up this Saturday night, March 1st, Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans hit the road for a duel with the Los Angeles Clippers. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
Well, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
Baca at the 4. With Perkins at the pivot. On the wings, it's Cephalosha and KD, Kevin Durant, and it's Lamb at the point. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Pass to Cephalosha. The feed to Durant. Right through the knee for the layup. Durant's got 10 points in just the second half.
And his stroke has been dead on. Inside, outside, wherever. The shot's just falling for him.
And stolen by Cephalosha. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop. And it's Davis with the jam.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
The Grizzlies trail by 15. Kicks it to Conley. It's Prince on the wing. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. And it's 6 points for Prince.
But he's really stood out for his club today. Even though they're struggling a little bit, he's doing his part.
Zach Randolph has checked in for Ed Davis. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, and during that break, Coach Scott for his team. He said to them, the lead we've got now is nice, but I want to make it even nicer. This is when we put the hammer down. It doesn't look like he's ready to back off just yet, guys.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yep, that's 5 of the last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
And here's Conley outside. And the rebound goes to Perkins. Perkins got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Very little success for him behind the arc today. Just 1 3-pointer in the first half and still none in the second.
The shot's good from Gasol. Now here's Westbrook. Trying to get open as a... Smooth as silk on the finger roll. And that's 18 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, the number one priority for a defense when you face this guy is to keep him getting anywhere from the basket because he's just so strong as a finisher.
And he's really one of the most heads-up defenders you'll see, too. I mean, you've got to take care of the ball when you're around him.
Allen passes to Conley. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Durant with the steal. And now here's Durant, the fast break opportunity. Shot's good. Durant's got 4 this quarter.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Conley gets to Gasol. Nasty move. He lays it in.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Oklahoma City leading by 13. Westbrook drives in. Ibaka. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook.
And their field goal percentage continues to climb. They've really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense.
Conley dishes to Prince. Again, Memphis.
Michael Conley with excellent vision on that pass.
Thunder have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Here's Perkins. Nice pass. Led into the rack perfectly for the layup. And the Thunder lead by 15. Passes it to Prince. Back to Conley. There's the 3. That's the bucket.
He had 1 in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
Ibaka. Tried to dunk it all, but threw the foul, and he'll go to the loss.
It's one thing to intimidate with your play, and it's another to get in the face of a player's shot you just blocked. Last season, Ibaka took it to that next level and ruffled some feathers by doing just that.
And speaking of Ibaka getting feisty, I remember seeing him get into it. In fact, with Coach Brooks when he was subbed out of a game, there was that flagrant foul against Blake Griffin. He's got a fuse.
Well, he's showing a little bit of a hot-headed streak, Kevin. I like that. A little feistiness. I like that from your big men. You want them to be tough.
Showing emotion.
Exactly.
Passion.
As long as you control the emotion.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that consistently. Heard the whistle. whistle and still kept his focus, able to knock that down.
And that is not easy, Steve. I mean, to take the bump, to maintain control of your body, and put it in the hole, tremendous play.
The Thunder have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. From 15 feet away, and that is good.
You got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home floor.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
Good. 46 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Westbrook passes to Ibaka. Back to Westbrook. Lets it go from 14. Oh, what a great finish. As he gets bumped on his way up, he'll go to the line and try to tack on another. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Adams, he's checked in for Perkins. Harry Jones comes in for Serge Ibaka. Roberson, he's checked in for Kevin Durant. And Derek Fisher is subbed in for Thabo Sefolosha.
He's going to keep banging those home if he gives that much space.
Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
You got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Lamb's checked in, and it's blocked by Adams. Here's Fisher. Pass to Lamb. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now, thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
A nice shot by Kufis. Fisher with the ball. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Now it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
So huge win here in OKC as the Thunder defeat the Grizzlies by 11, 99 to 88 as Kevin Durant got 22 points but no assists. Russell Westbrook got 21 points and 11 assists. On the other hand, for the Memphis Grizzlies, Mike Conley got 18 points with 5 assists. Mike Miller and Zach Randolph are shared tie with 12 points but without assists. Huge night here for the Thunder as they take care of business over the Memphis Grizzlies by 11. And for the rest of that, for the next 4 games here, we got the Jazz and the Cavaliers. We got the Caps win by 1 point, easy. Tristan Thompson got 18, Andrew Bynum got 13, Dion Waiters and Kyrie Irving got 13, and even 10 assists for Kyrie Irving. Alonzo G got 11. On the other hand, Alec Burks got 18, Gordon Hayward got 17 points, Richard Jefferson's got 15. Boost and the Mavericks need to save fouls quickly. gonna wrap up here tonight. We're gonna check out the next game. Bulls and the Mavericks, and Bulls will win this game. No, actually, the Mavericks will not. Actually, it's not the Mavericks. We're not gonna do it. Alright, so we have the Bulls and the Mavericks, and easy Bulls is useless because Derrick Rose is on a rampage. And there we go. So the Mavericks will win the stun Chicago 11-point win. Mavericks beat the Bulls 32 points for Dirk Nowitzki, 29 points for Monte Ellis, and Carlos Boozer got 23 along with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose got 23 and 10. Jimmy Butler got 16 and 8. Bobcats and the Spurs, and somehow the Bobcats. I don't want to do what I want the Spurs win. Why the Bobcats stun? The Bobcats and the Spurs and the... Wow, Bobcats again, they always Bobcats. Bobcats and the Spurs and... Are you kidding me? 3 in a row because they closed games. There you go. Spurs beat the Bobcats. 22 points for Tony Parker. Al Jefferson got 34. Ben Gordon got 22. Kings and the Lakers. And the Lakers will win by, I believe, was 43-point margin. Paul Gasol got triple-double. Kobe Bryant so close to triple-double. Antoine Jameson and Chris Kaman share 22 points. Other hand, Marcus Thornton got 23. Carl Landry not even get triple-double. And Griffiths Baskets also not gonna get double-double. Huge night here for the Lakers. So now, we'll be wrap up here in Chesapeake Energy Arena. And later on tonight, there we go. Try and stop with stock controller because the dust and debris is continuing to stock controller. So, next game, we're up the Madison Square Garden in New York City. We got a two of a good one here tonight. The Superstars, Splash Brother as Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors take on Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith of the New York Knicks here from Madison Square Garden in New York City. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Thunder beat the Grizzlies by 11, 99 to 88. This is Andre Kenshin. Say so for Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. We'll see you later for the second game here in the Madison Square Garden, New York, for the Golden State Warriors take on the New York Knicks. Sign up and peace out. Goodbye, and reminder, we'll see you later for the second game here in the Madison Square Garden. We got the Golden State Warriors and the New York Knicks as the Thunder defeat the Grizzlies 99 to 88. It's time to say sign up and peace out. Goodbye, and we'll see you later for the second game. Warriors and the Knicks here in New York.